Comenzamos esta 16ª lección continuando con el verbo defectivo can, que, recordemos, puede traducirse por saber cuando se indica aptitud o habilidad para hacer algo, o poder, referido a un permiso o posibilidad de hacer algo. Para construir la interrogación con can, simplemente se coloca el sujeto detrás del verbo, ya que no necesita del auxiliar do.
Can you tell us the time, please?
Caroline, can you help me? Caroline, can you help me?
La interrogación con el verbo defectivo can se forma colocando can delante del sujeto al que seguirá not y el verbo que figure en la frase.
Can John not reach the shelf?
O bien puede utilizarse la forma abreviada can't, que se colocará delante del sujeto.
Can't John reach the shelf?
Al responder afirmativamente a una pregunta en la que figura can, se puede utilizar una respuesta completa, compuesta de sujeto, can, y el verbo y complementos que lo acompañan. O bien, se puede emplear una respuesta breve compuesta del sujeto y can.
Can she walk fast? No, she can't walk fast. No, she can't.
Sally, can I telephone from here?
Yes, you can telephone from here.
Sally, can I telephone from here?
Yes, you can telephone from here.
Una vez más, hemos llegado al final de una nueva lección. Ahora les dejo con los Brown y sus particulares peripecias. En esta ocasión se mantiene la incertidumbre sobre el significado de aquellos huevos que llegaron por correo y que, aparentemente, tienen algo de misterioso.
Richard has a new watch.
Yes, Mother. Look at it. My watch has a long hand, a short hand, and a very long one to point to the seconds.
What time is it by your watch?
Yes, Richard. What's the time?
It is now 12 o'clock. It is noon.
No, it isn't. Look at the clock on the kitchen wall. It is 11:45. The hands on your watch are too fast. Ha ha!
You talk too fast.
Children, shh! That is enough. Richard, I like your watch.
Thank you, Mother.
Where is Margaret going?
She is going to the living room. What time does Dad come home from work this evening?
He comes home at 6 o'clock in the evening. Your father is strong. He can work hard all day.
Can we wait for Father at the train station?
No, dear. We can wait for him here at home.
What time does he usually arrive home? Isn't he ever late?
Your father is usually on time. Sometimes he is late.
What time do we have lunch?
Now.
What do we have for lunch?
We have tomato juice, we have a salad, and we have some cheese sandwiches.
Yuck.
Don't you like tomato juice and cheese sandwiches?
I like chocolate bars.
Don't have any sweets before lunch.
We generally have a light lunch.
Yes, and we usually have a big dinner.
What do we have for dessert for lunch?
For dessert, we have fruit, cakes, or ice cream.
Do we have 4 eggs for lunch?
4 eggs for lunch?
Yes, look. 1, 2, 3, 4.
What's this? Look at these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
I can cook 4 eggs. We can have eggs for lunch.
No, you can't cook these eggs. They are too special.
Well, those 4 eggs are not big enough. They are too small. I can't cook them very well.
Mother, Can I keep them?
Yes, Margaret.
Mother, can you tell me where these eggs come from?
No.
Why not? Can't you help me?
No, I'm sorry. I can't help you.
Why not?
Because I am very busy now. I haven't got time. Children, lunch is on the table.
Hola, hemos recorrido ya un largo camino en el aprendizaje del idioma inglés y es hora ya de que empecemos a complicar poco a poco los conceptos para seguir elevando sus conocimientos gramaticales. Vamos a comenzar por las comparaciones. Ya saben, aquellas que dicen que son odiosas. Este es más joven que aquel, tu coche corre menos que el mío, etc. Por ejemplo, para denotar una cualidad superior al hacer la comparación entre dos personas o cosas, se emplea el adjetivo en su grado comparativo. Los adjetivos monosilábicos y algunos bisilábicos forman el comparativo de superioridad añadiendo la terminación ER al positivo, de tal modo que si viejo es old y nuevo es new, podemos decir
Robert is older than Paul. Paul's car is newer than Robert's.
Who is taller, you or your brother?
My brother is taller.
Who is taller, you or your brother?
My brother is taller.
El superlativo, es decir, cuando nos referimos al más alto o al más guapo, se forma para los adjetivos monosilábicos y algunos bisilábicos añadiendo la partícula est al positivo.
He's the kindest man of all.
My grandmother is the kindest person I know. My grandmother is the kindest person I know.
La mayoría de los adjetivos de dos sílabas y el resto de adjetivos de mayor número de sílabas forman el comparativo de superioridad, anteponiéndoles la partícula more, y el superlativo lo forman anteponiéndoles the most.
Anna is more beautiful than Jane. He is the most intelligent in the class.
My storybook is more exciting than yours. My storybook is more exciting than yours.
Por otro lado, cuando queramos expresar igualdad, se coloca el adjetivo entre las partículas as. Veámoslo.
She's as short as this. She's as short as this.
Y para acabar con este apartado de comparaciones, el de inferioridad. Es decir, no tanto como, que en inglés se forma colocando el adjetivo entre not so, as. Lo veremos mejor con un ejemplo.
Paul is not so busy as Robert.
I drive not so fast as my brother. I drive not so fast as my brother.
Si le ha resultado un poco extenso este capítulo, repítalo cuantas veces crea necesario. Recuerde que es un vídeo y que en sus manos está revisar cualquier duda antes de pasar a la siguiente lección.
The Malaysian island of Borneo, third largest in the world, straddling the equator due south of Hong Kong, next door to Singapore. An island with an incredible history, including the legendary home of the Iban headhunters. Here, deep in some of the most unforgiving jungle terrain in the world, a Hollywood film crew is bringing to life an extraordinary story of high adventure and heroic action, entitled Farewell to the King, and starring Nick Nolte. It's the creation of writer-director John Milius, who specializes in stories about larger-than-life characters for the movies. And now comes his latest, Leroy, an American soldier who becomes king of the headhunters here in the jungles of Borneo. It marks the first time any major film has been made in this remote part of the world. From the very outset, John Milius had only one actor in mind to bring the character of Leroy to life on the screen, Nick Nolte. Known for the extensive research he does before starting a role, Nolte spent weeks in the jungle getting to know the natives and their language before filming began.
I think the physicality of this character is really actually is one of the keys. The key is that the man lives in the jungle, so coming down to Borneo early and spending time with the Iban and going up into their long houses and running around in the jungle, I think was necessary and an important part of the preparation of it.
During the filming of Farewell to the King, some 800 local natives were used as extras. While the cost of filming a major motion picture in Borneo was considerable, it was, in the words of producer Al Ruddy, well worth it.
Comenzamos ya la 18ª lección y vamos a estudiar otro verbo defectivo, must, deber. Este verbo indica obligación o deber ineludible de hacer algo. Naturalmente, el infinitivo, como en el caso del defectivo can, no va acompañado de to, y la tercera persona del singular tampoco va acompañada de la S característica.
He must stay in bed. The car must stop now.
I tell her, you must see a doctor at once. I tell her, you must see a doctor at once.
Al igual que otros verbos defectivos, no precisa del auxiliar do para negar o interrogar. Must not, o en su forma abreviada mustn't, forma la negación e indica prohibición de hacer algo.
You mustn't talk in class.
You mustn't drive fast on the road to the restaurant. You mustn't drive fast on the road to the restaurant.
Para interrogar, naturalmente se coloca el verbo must delante del sujeto y a continuación los complementos.
Must we send them a present?
Mustn't we wait? Mustn't we finish our apples? Mustn't we wait? Mustn't we finish our apples?
Bien, sabemos que mustn't indica prohibición de hacer algo, pero cuando queramos responder a una pregunta en la que figura must y se quiere indicar ausencia de obligación, se puede emplear una frase completa o bien una respuesta breve con el sujeto y needn't, que podría significar no es necesario que. Fíjense.
You needn't worry about that. You needn't worry about that.
Ahora ustedes sí deben ver el siguiente episodio de Los Brown y observen las aplicaciones prácticas de las dos últimas lecciones, sobre todo las comparaciones en la gramática y el uso del verbo defectivo must, mientras John y Margaret continúan con su romance.
This garden is very beautiful.
Thank you. The garden at our school is more beautiful. That garden is more beautiful than this one.
Your house is very cheerful.
Thank you. My grandmother's house is more cheerful.
Which is older, your house or your grandmother's house?
My grandmother's house is older. My grandmother is short. She's as short as this. She can't reach the ceiling.
My grandmother is the kindest person I know. She is a fast typist. She can type faster than my father. She is a happy woman.
My grandmother is younger than your grandmother.
Yes, your grandmother is healthier than mine. Sometimes my grandmother must stay in bed because she is ill. I tell her, you must see a doctor at once.
We have some apples. Take this one.
These apples are very good.
This apple's better than that one.
No, this apple is better. This is the best.
Your shoes are large.
Yes, my brother's shoes are larger than mine.
Who is taller, you or your brother?
My brother is taller.
Who runs faster, you or your brother?
I run faster. My brother is very busy with his work. He is the busiest person I know. Margaret,
Yes, John.
do you remember the two men in the restaurant the night of the movies?
Yes, John. Are they bad men?
Yes. The short man is bad. The big man is worse. The big man is the worst. They are dangerous men.
Dangerous?
Yes. I must go now to see them. The big man mustn't send me any parcels.
Are they postmen?
No, they aren't postmen.
Does the big man usually send you parcels?
Yes, sometimes.
Where are the men now?
They are in the restaurant.
You mustn't drive fast on the road to the restaurant.
You needn't worry about that. I drive not so fast as my brother. I am a very careful driver.
The road to the restaurant is very long. That is a dangerous road.
That road isn't as dangerous as the one to the school.
You needn't hurry, John. There's plenty of time.
No, I must hurry. I must go at once to talk to the bad men.
Mustn't we wait? Mustn't we finish our apples?
Well, I needn't go so soon.
My storybook is very exciting.
My storybook is more exciting than yours.
Comenzamos de inmediato una nueva lección de este curso audiovisual de inglés. En este capítulo vamos a estudiar nuevamente el verbo to be, ser o estar. Esta vez para hablar de los tiempos pasados, concretamente el pretérito imperfecto e indefinido. Estos dos tiempos tienen dos formas para efectuar su conjugación. Was, que se emplea con la primera persona y las tres del singular, y were, que se emplea con el resto de las personas, es decir, you, we y they.
She was very sad last night. We were in Paris last month.
We were very busy at the office last week. The boss was very angry last week. We were very busy at the office last week. The boss was very angry last week.
La interrogación con el pretérito imperfecto o el pretérito indefinido se forma sencillamente colocando was o were delante del sujeto.
Who was Shakespeare?
Caroline was in Rome last month.
Were you in Brussels last month, too?
Caroline was in Rome last month.
Were you in Brussels last month, too?
Para formular la negación en los tiempos pretéritos se coloca not tras was o were, aunque por lo general en conversación se emplean las formas abreviadas wasn't y weren't.
Your mother and I weren't here last night. Your mother and I weren't here last night.
Actually, it wasn't a very pleasant trip. Actually, it wasn't a very pleasant trip.
La misma regla empleada al hacer la interrogación con el presente del verbo to be se aplica con los pretéritos. Es decir, was o were, que se colocan delante del sujeto y a continuación not. También se puede construir en su forma abreviada, que coloca delante del sujeto las abreviaciones wasn't o weren't.
Wasn't it comfortable? Wasn't it comfortable? Weren't we in the country last autumn and in the seaside last summer? Weren't we in the country last autumn and in the seaside last summer?
Aquí acabamos una nueva lección de Visual English. Recuerden que, sobre todo, para practicar la pronunciación, deben recurrir a las cassettes de audio que acompañan al curso. Y además, puede ser una buena forma de repasar lo ya estudiado y de enriquecerse en el conocimiento del vocabulario.
Last year, the science fiction movie RoboCop, the story of a half-man, half-robot police officer, was a great success in theaters. This year, the story about a robot policeman is a reality. The new Eagle robot is the latest technology being used by United States police departments to investigate some dangerous situations. For example, one bomb squad unit expects to use the Eagle robot to dispose of bombs, remove hazardous waste and chemicals, and counter terrorist and hostage threats. To do these kinds of jobs, the Eagle has 3 video cameras, a gripper arm that turns 360 degrees, and 6 tires to climb up stairs and rough terrain. Those capabilities are what make the Eagle perfect for dealing with hazardous chemicals. In this test, an operator safely out of range of danger sends Eagle into a building in Florida that has been contaminated by a highly reactive acid. The operator guides the robot using a monitor that shows what the robot's camera is recording. Then, with its special grippers, Eagle gently lifts the hazardous item and transports it into a special container for destruction off-site. With the use of the Eagle robot, the risk to human life is greatly reduced, and the practical use of robots has expanded into yet another field of work.
Comenzamos esta ya 20ª lección continuando con los tiempos verbales que denotan el pasado. En esta ocasión vamos a estudiar los pretéritos con otro de los verbos defectivos del idioma inglés. To have, haber o tener, que tiene una única forma para conjugar todas las personas, tanto para el pretérito imperfecto como el indefinido. Had.
I had a headache last night. He had a cold last week.
She had a bad cold and a headache. She had a bad cold and a headache.
La interrogación se construye de forma similar al presente de indicativo. Esto es, se coloca had delante del sujeto.
Had you got an efficient secretary? No, I hadn't. She was lazy.
Para formar la negación con los tiempos pretéritos, se coloca not detrás de had, o bien se utiliza la forma abreviada hadn't.
I hadn't seen him before. I hadn't seen him before.
En la conversación habitual, la interrogación se forma colocando hadn't delante del sujeto y got detrás del sujeto. Recuerden que es muy frecuente el uso de got en el lenguaje familiar, precisamente el que creemos es más útil para ustedes a la hora de manejarse en inglés en las diversas situaciones que se les puedan plantear.
Hadn't he got clean shoes to wear?
De esta forma llegamos ya al final de la lección. Los Brown nos esperan con sus curiosas situaciones. Les recuerdo que presten mucha atención a la construcción de las frases y a la pronunciación.
My friends and I were at the football game last night. The football game was very exciting.
Your mother and I weren't here last night. We were at an orchestra concert. The program was very interesting.
Good afternoon, Robert and Richard. How are you?
We are very well. Thank you.
I am glad to hear it.
Helen was ill yesterday.
I am sorry to hear it. What was the matter with her?
She had a bad cold and a headache.
I am sorry to hear it. How is she feeling today?
Quite well. Helen says she is quite well now.
Where is Mother?
She is brushing her hair.
Hello.
Hello. I hope you are feeling better today, Helen.
Yes, I am, thank you. Caroline, can you help me? How far is it to the new movie theater in town?
It's a long way off.
How far is it, do you know?
It's about 4 miles.
How can I get to the new theater?
You can take bus number 24.
Thank you, Caroline.
Not at all.
We were very busy at the office last week. The boss was very angry last week.
Oh, I was in Paris last week.
Caroline was in Rome last month.
Were you in Brussels last month, too?
Yes, I was in Brussels, too.
Were you?
Was I?
Yes, yes, yes. You were in Brussels. Caroline has a lot of business trips. She was in New York last week, too. She is very busy in our company.
Do you like Paris?
Paris is a great city. The people are interested in politics. Some hotels are very high buildings. They are 20 stories high. There are also big shopping centers where people can buy food, clothing, and furniture. There are lots of shops in these shopping centers. Some shops sell vegetables and fruit. Some sell meat and fish. Some shops sell suits, dresses, and gloves. Some shops sell armchairs and beds.
That's very interesting, Caroline. Were you happy in Paris?
Well, there were lots of people in the stores, very busy people. Actually, it wasn't a very pleasant trip. I was tired last week.
Who was Shakespeare?
He was a writer.
Was he a good writer?
He was a great writer. He was English.
Yesterday's lesson was very easy. Today's lesson is very difficult.
We were at the seaside last summer.
Robert, we were not at the seaside last summer. We were in the country.
Weren't we in the country last autumn and in the seaside last summer?
No, we were not at the seaside last summer.
Wasn't it comfortable?
What?
The seaside?
Oh, I have a headache now.
We are sorry to hear it.
Hola, comienza aquí una nueva lección de Visual English. En esta lección vamos a volver con los verbos to be, les recuerdo, ser o estar, y to have, haber o tener. Y vamos a volver a ellos porque pueden tener significados diferentes a lo que hasta ahora hemos hecho referencia. Por ejemplo, el verbo to be se emplea también para indicar sensación en aquellos casos en que en español se emplea el verbo tener. Cuando quiero decir que tengo hambre, en realidad se dice estoy hambriento.
I am hungry.
I was hungry.
I was thirsty.
I was hungry.
I was thirsty.
Por otro lado, cuando nos referimos al tiempo atmosférico, también se emplea to be, en cuyo caso se traduce por a ser al español. ¿Ustedes recuerdan si hizo frío el pasado invierno?
Was it cold last winter?
It was lovely weather yesterday.
Yes, it was hot yesterday.
It was lovely weather yesterday.
Yes, it was hot yesterday.
Generalmente hablar de la edad es una descortesía. Sin embargo, si ustedes me lo permiten, de eso les voy a hablar. Cuando queremos preguntar la edad de alguien, se emplea también el verbo to be, acompañado de years old, y se traduce al español por tener.
How old are you? I am 15 years old.
How old are you, John?
I am 18 years old.
How old are you, John?
I am 18 years old.
El otro verbo del que les iba a hablar hoy, to have, también puede emplearse en el sentido de tomar, por ejemplo, un baño.
He has a bath every morning.
I always have coffee for dinner. I always have coffee for dinner.
En estos casos, en los que se emplea el verbo to have para expresar tomar, cuando nos referimos a un baño, algo de bebida o comida, es necesaria la presencia del auxiliar do en las negaciones e interrogaciones.
She doesn't have tea for breakfast.
What do we have for lunch? What do we have for lunch?
Don't have any sweets before lunch. Don't have any sweets before lunch.
Este es el final de una nueva lección. Ahora, como ya es habitual, les recomiendo que dediquen unos minutos a los ejercicios y a la pronunciación.
The island nation of Madagascar is one of the world's richest homes to endangered species. It's unique because many of those rare plants and animals can't be found anywhere else in the world. Once they're gone, nature's delicate balance is gone. Since 1961, the World Wildlife Fund, headquartered in Washington, D.C., has worked hard for wildlife conservation. It recognizes a potential environmental crisis in Madagascar and has taken a major step to prevent such a crisis with its Debt for Nature exchange. With financial help from the United States Agency for International Development, or AID, and a syndicate of European banks, the World Wildlife Fund will buy $3 million in Madagascar's commercial debt. The World Wildlife Fund then swaps the debt notes with the Central Bank of Madagascar for bonds. With that money, the World Wildlife Fund will work for conservation, especially in the Andrigitra and Marojeji nature reserves, and train new park rangers. Other Debt for Nature programs have been initiated in Latin America and the Philippines.
Comenzamos aquí un nuevo capítulo de Visual English. En la pasada lección estudiábamos diversas aplicaciones del verbo to have en un sentido diferente al de haber o tener. En estos casos, y cuando empleamos el verbo en pretérito imperfecto o indefinido para preguntar o negar, es necesaria la presencia del auxiliar did. Este auxiliar es el equivalente al do, pero para construir frases en tiempo pasado.
Did you have a good time last summer?
Continuamos con verbos en tiempos pasados. Ahora vamos a ver cómo se construye el pretérito imperfecto para el verbo impersonal haber, lo que en español traduciríamos como había. Existen dos formas, there was, que se emplea con un complemento en singular, y there were, que se utiliza con un complemento en plural.
There was some water in the glass. There were a lot of flowers in the garden.
There was enough mustard on the meat, Mother. There was enough mustard on the meat, Mother.
There were many flowers at the florist's. There were many flowers at the florist's.
Naturalmente, en conversación y para formar la negación, se emplean las formas abreviadas. Y si además queremos preguntar, es decir, construir la interronegación, se coloca el verbo delante de there. Lo verán mejor ahora.
Weren't there any oranges?
Wasn't there any bread at the baker's? Wasn't there any bread at the baker's?
En las respuestas breves se emplean los vocablos some y any como pronombres para sustituir al nombre. Es decir, cuando se precisa indicar que hay o se tiene algo de, o que no hay o no se tiene de alguna cosa, respectivamente.
Yes, there were some. No, there weren't.
Do you need any compact discs? Here are some. Do you need any compact discs? Here are some.
De esta forma acabamos con una nueva lección. Fíjense en el siguiente capítulo de los Brown, sobre todo en el empleo del pretérito de la forma impersonal del verbo to be. Ahora les dejo con nuestra singular familia. Creo que se disponen a cenar.
I was hungry.
I was thirsty.
Was there enough mustard on the meat? Was there enough salt on the fish?
There was enough mustard on the meat, Mother. There wasn't enough salt on the fish. And there weren't any potatoes for dinner. Wasn't there any bread at the baker's? There was not much butter on this plate.
Thank you, dear. No, there wasn't much bread at the baker's this afternoon. There were many flowers at the florist's.
Are there many oranges in that basket?
Yes, there are a lot of oranges for dessert. There are some apples in the refrigerator, too.
Yuck.
There is no chocolate cake.
Do you like coffee after dinner?
Yes, I always have coffee for dinner.
Margaret?
Yes, please.
Where do you live, John?
We live at 73 Oxford Street.
I know that building. How old is that building?
The building is 20 years old. It is 10 stories high. There are 4 apartments on each story. My family lives in an apartment on the 4th story.
How old are you, John?
I am 18 years old.
Do you have any brothers or sisters?
I have one brother. He is older. I am the second child in my family.
It was lovely weather yesterday.
Yes, it was hot yesterday. October is a lovely month.
John, can't you tell us something about the eggs from the packages?
The 4 eggs? Where are the 4 eggs?
The eggs are in the kitchen.
Aren't they special eggs?
I am a little cold.
Here is a sweater.
Thank you.
There is something wrong.
Something is wrong.
There are 3 eggs. Look, 1, 2, 3. There are usually 4 eggs. There is something wrong.
You are right. There are only 3 eggs. Where is the 4th egg?
Look at this. There isn't an egg in this bowl. There is a brass button.
There wasn't a brass button in that bowl before. There was an egg in that bowl yesterday. We have some trouble with these eggs.
Who was in our house? Where is the fourth egg?
Listen, there is a thunderstorm outside. Oh, I am afraid.
Me too.
You needn't worry. What are you afraid of?
Hola, de nuevo con ustedes para iniciar una lección más de Visual English. Hoy vamos a estudiar, en primer lugar, el pretérito indefinido de los verbos regulares. La mayoría de los verbos en inglés cumplen estas reglas. Tan solo algunas excepciones, como los verbos defectivos, tienen otras normas gramaticales. Tanto este tiempo, el pretérito indefinido, como el participio pasado se forman añadiendo la terminación ed al infinitivo sin to. Existe una única forma para todas las personas, tanto del singular como del plural.
She typed a few letters on her typewriter.
I remembered him very well. I remembered him very well.
He wanted you to go to the zoo with him? He wanted you to go to the zoo with him?
Esta terminación ed se pronuncia como una T después de un sonido de consonante sorda. Es decir, detrás de la P, la K, la F o la S. Y por el contrario, esta terminación se pronuncia como una D después de un sonido de consonante sonora. Estas pueden ser la B, la G, la V, la M o la N. Por ejemplo, worked. En este caso se pronuncia como una T. O arrived, en donde se pronuncia como una D, por ir tras una consonante sonora. Les repito, worked o arrived.
He looked at me, and I looked at him. He looked at me, and I looked at him.
Did you know anyone who lived in London during the war? Did you know anyone who lived in London during the war?
Para formar la interrogación con un verbo regular conjugado en pretérito indefinido, se emplea el auxiliar did, seguido del sujeto y del verbo en infinitivo sin to. Es decir, se omite la terminación ed, característica del pretérito al emplear did.
Did she open the mail?
Did the postman deliver the mail? Did the postman deliver the mail?
Para responder afirmativamente y de forma breve a una pregunta como la anterior, en la que figura el auxiliar did, se emplea el sujeto acompañado del auxiliar did. Veámoslo.
Did she open the mail? Yes, she did.
Una vez más, llegamos al final de la lección. Repasen sobre todo el vocabulario para poder ejercitarse con los tiempos pretéritos, con los verbos regulares y no dejen de practicar con las cassettes de audio.
It's the life cycle of golf balls. You buy them, hit them, and lose them. No one can say for sure, but estimates are some 50 million balls disappear into golf course lakes and ponds like this one every year. A lost treasure, but not lost for good. One entrepreneur is finding a way to recover and restore lost golf balls. Jim Reed is the founder of a company called Second Chance. It cleans, paints, then resells some 15,000 golf balls every day. The final product may look as good as new, but it costs a lot less. It all started when a friend challenged Reed to explore a deep lake on a nearby golf course.
Of course, I like adventure, so I went out there. The bottom of the pit was just loaded with golf balls. And I just got hooked on it, and it was a habit. Started picking up golf balls from then on and working out of the garage.
He's no longer in the family garage. 7 years later, Reed oversees a $1 million ball recycling company. It begins here in the lakes. 6 scuba divers work for Second Chance. Their bare hands comb the murky bottom, plucking golf balls like hidden pearls. It can be hazardous duty. But it is worth it. A diving team can bring in a couple thousand golf balls a day, and the best ones can sell for about $1 a ball. That means it can be very profitable putting lost balls back into play.
Nos encontramos ya en la mitad de este curso de inglés. Esto supone haber superado la parte inicial y más conflictiva, la que implica la primera toma de contacto con un idioma diferente al nuestro. Ahora el camino será ya más sencillo, pero comencemos ya esta explicación gramatical y continuamos con tiempos pretéritos. Para formar la negación con un verbo regular conjugado en pretérito, hay que emplear también el auxiliar did. Este se coloca entre el sujeto y la partícula not, seguido del verbo que queramos conjugar en infinitivo sin to. Como ya es habitual, en conversación se suele emplear la forma abreviada didn't. Veamos los dos casos.
I did not like Paris. I didn't like Paris.
I did not go. I did not go.
We didn't have to get up before sunrise. We didn't have to get up before sunrise.
Lo que en español llamamos pretérito imperfecto equivale en inglés al pasado continuo, excepto en aquellos casos en que no es posible emplear un verbo en la forma continua. El pasado continuo se forma mediante el verbo to be, empleado en pasado, es decir, mediante las formas was o were, seguido del participio presente del verbo que estemos conjugando.
It was raining.
He was driving too fast. He was driving too fast.
Generalmente, el presente continuo se emplea para describir una acción que se desarrollaba en un tiempo pasado simultáneamente con otra acción. Esta segunda acción se describe por medio de un verbo en pretérito indefinido. Por ejemplo, llovía cuando llegamos al aeropuerto.
It was raining when we arrived at the airport.
It was raining when he arrived at the door. It was raining when he arrived at the door.
Por último, les voy a hablar de una expresión comúnmente utilizada en inglés, to be going to, que significa ir a. Esta expresión se emplea para describir una acción que va a realizarse dentro de un instante o en un futuro más o menos inmediato.
Where are you going? I am going to Paris again. Where are you going? I am going to Paris again.
De esta forma acabamos una nueva lección de Visual English. Y ahora de nuevo les dejo con la familia Brown. En este capítulo, Margaret y John siguen con sus intrigas respecto a los 4 huevos misteriosos que un día aparecieron en el hogar de la familia.
I must tell you. I must tell you.
You must tell me what?
I must tell you what happened at my house today.
How long is this going to take you?
I think it is going to take me a few minutes.
What happened?
There was a knock at the door this afternoon. We were having tea and cookies.
Who knocked at the door?
It was the big man. I remembered him very well. It was the big man from this cafeteria.
That big man?
Yes.
What was he doing there?
He looked at me, and I looked at him.
Yes?
He wanted me to go to the zoo with him.
He wanted you to go to the zoo with him?
Yes. I did not go.
Were you afraid of the big man?
Yes, I was afraid. Then the big man walked to his car. It was a big green car. He started the car.
And then?
He was driving too fast. A little boy was crossing the street, and the big man nearly killed him.
No.
Yes, a policeman was standing in the middle of the street.
Did the policeman stop the car?
No, the big man was driving too fast. Later, 1.5 hours later, I was playing with my brother in the garden. He was playing ball.
What happened next?
There was a knock at the door.
Who knocked at the door? Was it the big man again?
No, it was the postman. It was raining when he arrived at the door. I called Mother.
What was she doing when you called her?
She was typing a few letters on her electric typewriter when the postman knocked at the door. Mother opened the door.
Did the postman deliver the mail?
Yes. He only delivered 1 letter. He handed the letter to my mother.
Did she open the mail?
Yes. Then she began to read the letter. There were only a few words. It was in French.
Don't you know French?
Yes, I know some. Well, I had some difficulty understanding the letter.
And?
To the Brown family. We lived in London during the war. You stayed in your country during the war. We returned home after the war. We want the 4th egg. Where is it?
Wow.
That's it. There's no more writing in the letter.
Did you know anyone who lived in London during the war?
No, I didn't.
Look, our friends are waiting for us at the entrance of the restaurant.
Hello, Margaret and John. Hello, Caroline. I'm working today. I'm very busy packing my suitcase.
Where are you going?
I am going to Paris again.
To France?
Yes, you are right. Paris is in France.
When are you going away?
I am going tomorrow morning on the plane.
How long are you going to stay there?